and welcome to another episode of Good Morning Abuja on a weekend. I mean, when you hear weekend, you know it's flexing and relaxing. For me, the weekend is a time to take out time and relax. Sincerely, you've been working. I know you are a workaholic, but then you need this rest. It's a beautiful day to be on your screen. Good morning, Abuja on NTH channel 5, the Unity Station. Thank God it's Friday. I mean, we have this Friday so much and we must enjoy it. My name is Uloma Ibe. Welcome. Please fasten your seatbelt. Grab a cup of tea, coffee, or water. All right. We have lots of goodies for you on the show. You're starting the show with me. And I mean, we are going to be motivated now. This is time for motivation. Let's grab it and enjoy it. I'll come back at you.
We live in a world where people love the higher versions of phones. Everyone wants the Pro Max version of a phone because, of course, those versions come with higher and better features. But do you know that there is the Pro Max version of you? There is a version of you that comes with higher features and higher upgrades that would be a blessing to your world. So today, I want you to stop limiting yourself based on the version of you are today. Some of the things you call limitations, some of the things you call challenges, only exist in your today. In your tomorrow, in the permanent version of you, those limitations and challenges don't exist. There is a version of you that the world is waiting for, a version of you that can effect change globally, a version of you that can change the world. But then, if you remain this version of you, the world won't see that change because that future only exists in the Pro-Max version of you. So today, I dare you, refuse to settle for version 1.0 of you. Choose to upgrade. Choose to become the better version of you.
Thank you very much for that motivation. Sincerely, it's important to know that someone is looking out for you. I mean, someone is encouraging you. Someone is rooting for you. I'm rooting for you. We are rooting for you. That's why we're always here to make sure you start off your day very well. And it's time for us to go and work out, exercise. If you are the type that you don't like doing exercise, you don't have flavor for exercise, you can take it small, like a step at a time. You don't need to do the press up 50 times. You don't need to do the skipping 100 times. You can do 5, you can do 10, you can just join us. It doesn't take time. So it is time for exercise. Let's go exercising. Forgive me that I can't join you, right? I can't join you doing the exercise, but I will definitely do my own this evening. And I told you I like trekking, like evening trek around the vicinity, stroll down, do small jogging and trek and all of that. It is time for us to take the inspirational quotes for life. We'll come back at you. Please stay with us. much for those quotes. We love it. I love it, appreciate it, and I know you do so. All right, welcome back from that. If you're just joining, you haven't missed yet. This is Good Morning Abuja on NTH and 5 Unity Station. We want to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have guests join us, so we'll have conversation on important matters. Let's take this break. We'll come back.
Say our goodbyes on the program. As usual, I remain your host the most, Omoide with Erese, and I'll always be here with my bestie.
Je m'appelle Oguntayo Olaniposi Justina.
Speaking French now, from Jordan to Sweden.
Adios.
All right, welcome back from that break. We have Dr. Fadipe Oladotun joining us this morning. He wants to talk to us about the role of veterinary doctors, the practice in Nigeria. I mean, growing up, we know veterinary doctors, they take care of the animals, right? We want to know if their roles are beyond that. Is it just taking care of the animals and all that? And they still call them doctor. You don't understand. You heard his name. He's a doctor. So he's here with us, and we have the privilege of having him on Good Morning Abuja this Friday episode. Good morning, sir. Doctor, welcome.
Thank you very much. Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here today.
It's a pleasure. Welcome, sir. Talk to us about the role of veterinary doctor. What do you people really do? Is it beyond taking care of the animals and they're making sure people adhere to professional practices and all of that?
Thank you very much. It's actually a privilege to enlighten people about who we are as veterinarians. Of course, when we go to school, we collect a degree called Doctor of Veterinary Medicine. And it then means that we are actually out to practice veterinary medicine. So what is veterinary medicine all about? For us, it's not just about the animals. You know, it's the treatment that we do in animals is a means to an end, meaning that when you take care of animals, you eventually will take care of humanity too. Because quite a number of people are not aware that over 75% of diseases are diseases that animals and humans share. You know, and of course, if animals and humans are sharing it, if you are able to curtail it, if you are able to end that disease in the animal and not allowing it to get to man, you have succeeded in treating the man himself. You know, one other area that it's easy for everybody to know is the fact that we also work in the abattoir. And what we do in the abattoir, we do what we call the post-mortem and ante-mortem inspection, meaning that before an animal is slaughtered, you check the animal to be sure that it is disease-free.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So because if a vet doctor doesn't confirm an animal disease-free, ideally, you shouldn't slaughter that animal. And once that animal is also slaughtered, you also do another post-mortem inspection. You still check it again. I've seen it, the physical characteristics, the mucous membrane, everything is okay. But let me check again after this animal has been slaughtered before it now gets to man who will eat the animal. So you see that we are a gateway in ensuring that diseases doesn't cross from the animal kingdom to the human kingdom. So the role is very critical. And you know, when we are growing up, they told us that prevention is better than cure. So we want to give less work to our other colleague in the human sector by ensuring that we take care of what happens in the animal sector. But of course, the story is not actually as it's supposed to be for maybe because of orientation and so many other things. But that is what we do.
Let's start from the story. How is the story? And how is it supposed to be? And why is it not so?
Well, in our Nigerian universities, let's even start from there. If somebody applied to read veterinary medicine, apply to read human medicine, and he doesn't get the cutoff mark for human medicine because that is very, very competitive. They will now say, okay, let the person go and read veterinary medicine. And that is why the withdrawal rate, the failure rate is very high. So when many of us coming into class, you can imagine a class of 81 when we're on the level, about 6 finished in the requisite time out of 81.
What happened to the rest?
The rest had one carryover or the other, and they needed to make it up before eventually graduating. So the issue is this: human beings are human beings. I mean, you go to the hospital, you tell them what you want, they administer to you. But when it comes to animals, I'm going to be dealing with a dog. The system of a dog is different from the system of a cow. The system of a cow is different from the system of a pig. So because science is very dynamic, they've been able to classify them into 7. So when I'm going to do anatomy, I do 7 different classes of anatomy. But when the human doctor is doing an anatomy, it's just one anatomy is doing.
Ooh.
When it comes to physiology, I do the physiology of 7 different classes of animals.
That's huge.
Very huge. So they call it comparative physiology. And it is at that point that a lot of people, because it's in 200 level, once 100 level is just sciences, in 200 level you now advance. And when you get to that place, to cope, you can imagine having an exam that the total mark is 1,200, and then you now have to scale it down to 100% because of the number of animal species that we have to deal with, because we do a lot around them. So the truth is, to go to school and read veterinary medicine, even starting from the training itself, it's a very rigorous exercise. I was talking with Dr. Ayola Odoton. He's the person that God used to introduce Noila chicken to the world, which means anywhere in the world, when you hear Noila chicken, it started from him in Nigeria.
Interesting.
And how did he even coin that name? Broiler. Then he now remove the B and put N. That N stands for Niger. So Niger made. So Noila. So it starts from here and it's all over the world. Now it has been exported to so many countries. He's a veterinary doctor. The practice of veterinary, the knowledge that people have about veterinary medicine in the country is very shallow, very shallow. So when they see us, they don't know what we have gone through to get to where we are. And for our human medical counterparts, when we earn the same salary with them, people are wondering, why are you earning the same salary with somebody who's treating human beings? Is it not just ordinary animals you are treating? But no.
Oh, they feel you should earn lesser.
They feel we should earn lesser.
Imagine.
I'm telling you, and the hazard we face is more. You can imagine if they bring a lion to my clinic, I can't tell them to take the lion.
The lion?
Yes.
Do they bring lions to your clinic?
They do.
How do you do that?
Well, of course, medicine is very dynamic, like we said. If anybody brings an animal to your hospital, make sure the person restrain the animal himself. Don't be a superhuman being to go and want to restrain the animal. And of course, we have chemical means of restraint, physical means of restraint. There's so many means of it. So when we now notice that, okay, even the person that brings the animal is also becoming powerless, we can now apply either the chemical means or whatever.
To make them calm.
To make them calm, exactly. So and once an animal is calm, that's all. You can imagine you want to treat a snake. All you just need is to pass the snake on an ice. And when the snake is lying down on that ice, he is actually calm. So when you see somebody who doesn't care for his animal, just know that that person cannot be nice to human beings. Because these are animals that are very helpless. These are animals that can't talk, So it's very well. So back to the abattoir thing. The ideal, because when we are taught in school, is that you must do an antenatal inspection. Ladies go to the hospital, they say they are going for antenatal, which means before they give
delivery.
Birth. So anti means before. So we also do what they call antenatal inspection. And ideally, when you take animals to the abattoir, you should rest them. Even though these animals are still going to be slaughtered, you do it the humane way. You know that this is also life you want to take.
Aww.
So you don't just...
You pet them.
Exactly.
Really?
Yes. Give them water to drink, so that they can calm down because water is life.
They can rest in peace, sort of.
So that process is very important. And of course, once they rest, you can now invite the veterinary doctor and say, okay, yes, the animals are here. Can we inspect them? So we inspect them. Of course, there are a lot of science, vital parameters we take to ensure that these animals are okay. And one of the things that is actually very, very painful is the fact that people slaughter pregnant animals. So
They're not supposed to slaughter
they are not
pregnant.
supposed to slaughter pregnant animals. So these are things we can check before the animal is slaughtered. We can tell you, okay, this one is pregnant, please don't slaughter it. It has taken a life to deliver, then you can now slaughter it afterwards, because a lot of waste.
I see so much emotion here from you to the animals because you take care of them and you ensure we eat healthy animals. Yes. Okay, we're going to take a break. When we come back, I want to know more and more about the veterinaries, their roles, and so much more. You don't want to miss that.
Eyes for Allah, nothing but Allah. Ba is the beginning of Bismillah. Ta is for taqwa, bewaring of Allah. And Tha is for thawab, a reward. Ja is for Jannah, the garden of
Assalamu
paradise.
alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Welcome to your weekly guide, Light of Islam. I am Aisha Ahmed.
As Muslims, we know that in Islam, time is a very good and important commodity that we have.
Believe in the angels of God as one of the 6 articles of faith.
Shamanism may form rows, and how the rows are made is such that the Imam stands in front and then right behind him.
Assalamu alaikum, this is Light of Islam. Keep watching Light of Islam, NTA channel.
Za is for zakah, to cure our greed, when we give our money to those in need.
Welcome back from that break. Interesting conversation we're having here. You said something about the animals, the disease that they transfer to human. How does that work? I mean, like we know when there's this popular what's the name again that birds had?
Okay, avian flu.
Bird flu, yes. And they told us, don't eat this chicken. Some people were still eating. They say nothing. Dirty, they kill African man and all that. So what are the checks and balances in that area?
Okay, diseases that can happen in animals and can also affect humans. They call them zoonotic diseases.
Zoonotic diseases.
And what that means is that an animal can give it to a human being. A human being can also give it to the animal. So it can cross from.
So how do we prevent that?
Yes, the issue is that once an animal is treated and is taken care of and it doesn't have that disease, the circle, you break the chain, you break the circle in the animal. And that is why in Nigeria, for instance, a lot of vaccination is being done, mass vaccination, and the government is trying. And I was just listening to NTA News yesterday, and the Akwa Director of Veterinary Service was talking about the federal government giving them some vaccines to vaccinate their animals. So I think government is doing a lot, in that direction. So once you know that these diseases are diseases that can be transmitted, the first thing we do is to ensure that it is treated in the animals. And one of the ways we prevent diseases is vaccination. So what we do for large animals, the cows and the goats and the rest, we call them mass vaccination. Exactly. But for pet animals, you just take them to the hospital. Like, take for instance, rabies is actually is a zoonotic disease, and can be transferred from dog to man. But it's very deadly. It doesn't have a cure, but it is preventable. All you need to do is just take your dog to the clinic. They give you just that one injection. You take it once in a year, and you're as good as okay. And like we always tell people, if you don't take care of that animal, the animal can eventually turn around to you yourself, the owner, not just your neighbors. Yeah, you have children. Your children like dog. In my house, once we bring a puppy inside, they want the puppy to sleep in the room. They'll be watching it everywhere. Children like pets. It's only when it starts growing, they say, it has grown. And, they were looking for the puppy again to play with. So it's basically for us to ensure that these things are treated in the animal population. Once they are treated in the animal population, it will not get to man.
Let's talk about how your council work. How do you ensure that registered and licensed members practice? Because we have quackeries in different professions. How do you ensure that?
Okay, for us in the Veterinary Council of Nigeria, we have two broad mandates. The first one is to ensure that the training is well regulated, which means all our veterinary schools, there are not many of them. Like when we went to school, we just have like 5, but today we have like 11 schools who are fully accredited. So you ensure that you go there regularly and ensure that their laboratories, their clinics, their classes are well.
So even when you're now a veterinary doctor, you still go to veterinary school?
Exactly.
To update your knowledge?
Well, yes. Going back to school to update knowledge is one side. But what I'm talking about is that the Veterinary Council of Nigeria goes there to regulate the standard.
Okay, the standard.
Because like I always tell people, it's not all rosy affairs. We've had to go to schools and tell them, you didn't do well, we need to come back again. We're in BUK for accreditation, and we notice that the equipment they have are not installed. And anybody can buy equipment and keep and show you, and when you go,
they take it back, something like that.
So we told them, no, you must install this equipment, and we will come back to check if you have installed them, so that we'll be sure that the right thing is being done. We were also in University of Abuja 2 years ago, 2024, and we told them we're coming back in 2 years to check those things, because we can't give you a full accreditation for some shortcomings. So we regulate the training, then we also regulate the practice. Now, I will say it without mincing word, without apology, that we have not done too well in the area of regulating the practice. Why I'm saying that is because it takes a lot to do that. Today, as we speak, the Veterinary Council of Nigeria has just 34 staff nationwide. And 34 nationwide. Is that enough? It's not. So how can we sit in Abuja and be ensuring that the person that is practicing in Sokoto is doing the right thing? It's not possible. So physical presence is also very important to ensure that people do the right thing. But the first thing we do is to ensure that every veterinary doctor is licensed annually. We call it annual practice license. So once they become veterinary doctors, we tell them every year you must make a payment, subscription to the VCN to ensure that your name is in the register. But in an event where somebody is found wanting, people who are our eyes everywhere will report to the Veterinary Council. So when they report to the Veterinary Council, we have 2 committees. One of the committees is called Veterinary Investigation Committee. Ooh. So we go into action to investigate what the matter is.
Interesting.
In an instance where they are found culpable, we also have the disciplinary and tribunal. So it depends on how massive. Exactly. So it depends on how the case is at the level of investigation before it can be taken to the tribunal case. So Veterinary Council of Nigeria, like the former president AIG Aisha Tobaka will always say, we are the police of the profession. And once we find people who are culpable, they will definitely be disciplined.
Your parting shot to Nigeria, message to Nigeria concerning your profession and what you do. That will be done in 30 seconds, sir.
Okay, my message is that everybody should know that veterinarians are gatekeepers in ensuring that the disease does not move from animal to human being, because we care more for the human population. So, but we do that by ensuring that it is prevented, and we also use that to take care of our animal population too. So once we are given the right of a place to do what we're supposed to do, Nigeria will be better for us.
Thank you so much for coming on the show, Doctor. We appreciate you, and this awareness is key. We hope to have you back to keep talking so that we know. You've just said things we didn't know, and it's interesting. Thank you once again for coming on the show.
Thank you very much for the time.
All right, we want to take a breather. When we come back, there is so much more for you. Please keep it here.
La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah.
May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon each and every one of us. It's another fantastic Friday evening, and you're welcome to NTA Channel 5 Abuja.
First of all, you train yourself, you educate yourself, then you educate your family, and then the community at large.
Fundamentals of Islam life showing 7:30 p.m. every Friday on NTA Channel 5 Abuja, the Unity Station. Join us.
So welcome back from that break. We have Salau Momo Sani Uricha joining us this morning. Guess who he is? He's the Director, Legal Duties and Arbitration for DNKI. He's going to be talking to us about family law. You want to know what makes marriage valid and all of that in Nigeria. My name is Uloma Ibe. If you're meeting me for the first time, this is Good Morning Abuja. Help me make welcome my guest. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing?
I thank God, we're fine.
Okay, good to have you.
Yeah.
So we want you to talk to us about, a lot of people, they have different things and all of that. What are the essential requirements for a valid marriage under Nigerian law?
Okay. Under the Nigerian legal system, a valid marriage, for you to have a valid marriage, either depends on which type of marriage actually.
Okay.
Yes, because we have two different types of marriage. We categorize it into two different types. Which one is the marriage under the Act, or the one we call the court marriage, and then the customary marriage, which also covers the Sharia, the Islamic marriage, because it falls under customs. So for you to have a valid marriage under the Act, you would always consider the age.
When you say under the Act, what does that mean?
That's what we call the court marriage.
The court marriage. Okay.
Yes, that's what we call the court marriage.
Okay.
You look at the age of the parties.
Okay, the age.
Yes, under the Act, the required age for marriage under the Act is 21 years.
21 years.
Yes.
Not 18 that announces adulthood.
No.
Okay.
From 18, you're an adult. That is for marriage under the Act. That's the one that you have a marriage certificate for and all that. Okay. The law requires, the Marriage Act requires that at 18 you are old, you're mature enough to get married, but you will need parental consent.
Okay.
Yes, but from 21 you can get married without
Any
parental consent.
Wow.
So your age matters. Then your sanity matters. Yes, you must have the right frame of mind. So that you will not enter the marriage and say you were deceived. Then you must be single.
Must be single.
Yes. When you say you are single, means you are not married before. Or you are a widow or a widower.
What of being someone that was divorced?
Yes.
Divorcee.
Yeah, you are divorced. So that's why I said when you are single, it's either you are not married before, or you're a widow or a widower, or you are divorced. Yes. So but the point is you must be single.
Single.
Yes. If you're not single, you can be liable for bigamy.
Oh.
Yes, which is an offense. Then you must also, like I said, parental consent is only needed when you are below 21.
Okay.
Then it must be celebrated in a licensed place of worship or in a registry, in the marriage registry. It must celebrate it. There must be a gathering of people.
Not compulsory that it must be in court.
No, it's never in court.
Oh, it's never in court.
No,
really?
It is a marriage registry.
Okay.
Yes, it's in the marriage registry.
Marriage registry.
Yeah, it's not in court. They just call it court marriage.
Court marriage, not like it must happen inside the court.
No. People just, that's a layman language.
Layman language. Okay.
Yes, legally we call it marriage under the Act.
Marriage under the
Act.
Act.
Yes, because it's regulated by the Act. Yes, by the Marriage Act. But in the late times they'll say court marriage.
Court marriage.
And so, but it's not. There's nothing about it. It's only the dissolution of it that takes place in court.
Court. Okay.
And the marriage itself doesn't take place in court.
Okay.
Yes, it must be from a licensed place of worship.
Sure.
There must be also the sanity, age, being single. Then we must also consider that the parties are not related by blood. Or by affinity. In other words, they will say by consanguinity or affinity. Consanguinity refers to blood relations, while affinity refers to relationships by marriage. Let's say your brother-in-law or your sister-in-law.
Oh, that all those things are being considered.
Yeah, they are being considered.
Wow.
Your father-in-law, and they are all considered. They are people. They are relationships by affinity. So the law regulates who and who actually. Whether you can marry your mother-in-law or your sister-in-law, the law does not really
permit that.
Most of those things. Yes.
Wow.
So
interesting.
So those are majorly the things they look at before you can say, okay,
this is it.
This you can a valid marriage has been
conducted under the act. What about the customary?
The customary part is just is a fewer requirements. One, you look at the capacity, the sanity of the person, then the capacity that this is what we are talking about, the blood relations and all that. Then you also look at the age. The age there is 18 years. Yes.
Okay, 18.
Yes. Under the customary marriage, the why it's 18. Some people are like under Islamic law, it could be lower than 18. But by the Child Rights Act, for someone to be considered an adult and have the right mentality to take such decisions, it must be up to 18. So we will put it at 18 legally. Then there must be a celebration in accordance with the native law and customs that the marriage is conducted under.
Okay.
So if you require bride price, you pay. If you require fees for the tax, you pay and all that. That's required by the native laws and customs.
Okay. Yes. Interesting. This is huge, and we want to learn more from him as a legal practitioner. We want to take a break now. When we come back, he's not going anywhere, and you are not going anywhere too. We'll come back shortly.
Say our goodbyes on the program. As usual, I remain your host, the most Veterinary, and I'll always be here with my bestie.
Je m'appelle Oguntayo and I'm Justina.
Speaking French now, from Jordan to Sweden.
Adios.
Eyes for Allah, nothing but Allah. Ba is the beginning of Bismillah. Ta is for taqwa, bewaring of Allah. And Tha is for thawab, a reward. Ja is for Jannah, the garden of
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Welcome to your weekly guide, Light of Islam. I am Aisha Ahmed.
As Muslims, we know that in Islam, time is a very good and important commodity that we have.
Believe in the angels of God as one of the 6 articles of faith.
Tamarism may form rows, and how the rows are made is such that the Imam stands in front, and then right behind him.
Assalamu alaikum, this is Light of Islam. Keep watching Light of Islam, NTA channel.
Za is for zakah, to cure our greed, when we give our money to those in need.
Alright, welcome back from that break. This is still Good Morning Abuja. We are talking the family law, how to know the requirements if the person is truly married. And he says something that if before you marry under the act, you must be single and searching. So if you're already married before, the law is against it. We'll talk more. I want you to explain more on this the customary marriage. We need to know more about that.
Okay.
You made mention of age in the marriage under the act.
Yes.
What about the customary? What is the difference? How you differentiate it?
Actually, the customary marriage is more liberal. Yes, it's more liberal because it only requires you to be aged 18.
Age 18.
Yeah. The age 18 is not even because of, it's not based on the customs. because some customs require even a lesser age, like under Islamic law.
The lesser age.
Yes, in Islamic law, it's even the procedure, the provision under Islamic law requires that it may be from 13, 14 thereabout.
Is that a provision or people just do it? Ooh, we actually think, some people think people just decide to do that. We don't know that is a provision.
No, that's under Islamic law, they look at it as the girl should even see her first period in her husband's house.
Wow.
Yes, that's actually how it is designed under Islamic law.
Okay.
Yes, but being on the fact that the child, there are laws regulating all that, and we have outgrown that age. You get, so we have the Child Rights Act that fixes the age of maturity at 18. Yes, that's why for customary marriage, the age of consent is 18.
18, okay.
Yes. Then the other requirement is for the celebration
to happen.
Yes, for the celebration to happen in accordance with the native law and custom of the people. If it's under Islamic law, there's need for payment of dowry and all that. In the customs, and there's bride price and dowry, payment of the bride price, dowry as required, which varies according to different communities. You get some will require yam, some will not require yam, some will require different things, and depending on where you are coming from your locality. Then outside that, you have if talk of the age, then the capacity, in the same issue of blood relations and whether there are people that are really compatible in marriage. Like for example, now you cannot just go, or there's a provision, you can't go and marry a brother and sister cannot go and marry under customary law, because it is customary law. It's an abomination. It's abhorred. You get, so those things are also looked into. So I think those are the major things they look into in customary marriage.
Okay, I want you to talk the customary law now.
Yeah.
We've seen issues where you said under the Islamic provision that 13 is approved.
The age is just a guess, but what is required actually is that the way it was written.
Does that still happen? Because we have those advocating that child marriage should end.
It doesn't happen anymore.
Anymore. Okay.
No, it doesn't happen anymore.
Okay.
At least not in our climate.
Not now.
Yes, not in our own era here.
Yeah. It happened before.
It happened before.
Okay.
But now with the Child Rights Act in enforce, it becomes a child abuse.
Child abuse.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. So how does Nigerian law recognize and regulate customary marriages?
Okay.
Because sometimes we see, let's say someone wants to travel out and the person did not marry under the act. They will say, this one, traditional marriage picture is not enough. So how does that happen?
Yes, like we say, the provision, marriage under the law internationally, it's looked at like a case of Hyde versus Hyde, where marriage is described. Even under the Interpretation Act, the Nigerian Interpretation Act, Section 18 per se, marriage is described as a union of one man and one woman.
Okay.
For eternity, except maybe there's a divorce. According to the law, there's a breakup. So internationally, like I referred to, the international case is Hyde versus Hyde. Well, it's a renowned case in under matrimonial causes for the lawyers and all that. And the Interpretation Act also defines, if you are looking at the law that defines marriage under the Interpretation Act, you will see that it's a union between one man and one wife. But under customs and traditions, you can marry more than one wife. So outside our climes, outside the Nigerian jurisdiction here, the customary law, the customs and traditions will not fly. Your marriage under custom will not fly outside.
It's just within us.
Because it's just within us. And, it's just like our customs are once they are not repugnant to natural justice, equity, and good conscience here in the country, it is adopted into our legal system. Yes. But that custom, the custom in Benue State cannot work in
Another
State or in Kano State.
Okay.
You understand? Even if you get married under the customary law of Lagos State, or let's say you get married under a customary law there in Lagos State. If you want to divorce, you can't go to, if the customary court that will still divorce you, you divorce in accordance with that particular custom and tradition.
Okay.
You understand me? You can't come and they can't come and adopt the custom and tradition of an Ibiraman to divorce a Yoruba person. You understand?
Let's talk more on what are the grounds for divorce and how does it work? What are the grounds? Say, you have to divorce somebody. What will really make you divorce? And what are the processes? Sometimes we'll see that it takes time. They'll say, oh, the child must belong to the woman must take care of the child, this and that, the man and all of that. I want you to explain more. And I still have a pending question on, you use a term, your professional term on that, when someone is single. I mean, when someone is already married and remarries, there's something.
It's called bigamy.
Bigamy.
Yeah, it's
okay,
an offense.
You tell us about that. But this very question is so important.
Your question is in two.
Okay.
Yes, you're talking about
the grounds for divorce in Nigeria.
Yes.
And
you're talking about the grounds for divorce, and you're talking about custody of the child.
Yes.
Yes.
But just the question I infused.
I can see. Yeah. You see, the divorce on its own, under the Act, because like we said, there are two different types of marriages in Nigeria. But the marriage under the Act, there is only one major ground for divorce.
Major ground?
Yes, there is one ground.
Oh, really?
Yes, actually. There's one ground for divorce. That's that the marriage had broken down irretrievably. That is the ground for divorce under the Act. They will say, yes, the marriage has broken down irretrievably. It means that the marriage cannot be brought back to life again. All attempts to ensure that this marriage continues to survive has failed.
Has failed.
Yes, so that is what it means. But there are facts that needs to be proven. Yes, there are grounds for this there are facts for this ground to be proven.
Okay.
Yes. The facts, one, might require that the marriage was not consummated. Maybe after.
You'll be breaking these things down for us.
Okay, when I say consummated, it means there was no after the marriage, there was no intimacy between the parties.
They were not compatible?
Not so. Maybe the parties, it didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
Maybe one person is not fit. Maybe, maybe for medical reasons, a lot of reasons might come up that there will be no conjugal, let's say there will be no consummation. Consummation is a legal term for
sexual intimacy.
You get it. Okay. So when it doesn't happen in the marriage, and I think one of the major purposes of marriage is for procreation, you get. So when there is no consummation, there can be procreation, you get. So if at all a marriage is not consummated, it's deemed not to have happened. It means it's a ground for divorce. In fact, it's even an immediate ground. You don't even need to wait for 2 years or how many years before you come and report to the court that there must be, as you have the agreement, there must be arrangements for every other thing. But when the living apart is based on grudges, I got upset with you, we have an issue and I move out of the house. Even though you're taking care of me and the children, I have refused to move back in. That is where you say they are living apart. A husband can be abroad and the wife will be in Nigeria. You will not say it wouldn't form a ground for living apart until they make it intentional that, okay, I'm staying apart. If he's staying there, he can come to the house anytime.
Okay.
You understand?
Our time is going. We need to run with these questions.
Okay.
What is the child custody law? I mean, what does the Nigerian law say about it? We want you to answer quickly.
Yes. Custody is regulated by the Act, by the Marriage Act and the Child Rights Act. But the issue of custody, according to
child custody,
yes, for child custody, is majorly regulated by the discretion of it's something that I think the Act provides that for custody to be given, the major consideration is the interest. Yes, the predominant interest of the child. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Like the interest in what aspect? The child Once the mother or father?
The interest of the child means okay, let's say the age of the child, his psychological being, what the child wants for himself also.
All right.
Yeah, who the child wants to be with, the maintenance of the child, and even the attitude or character or behaviors of the party of the husband and wife. The court looks at it. There is no hard and fast
rules.
The law, that section 71 of the Act does not give any hard and fast rule. It's at the discretion of the judge to decide based on what the judge hears from the parties and from the child. But note that the major consideration for child custody is the interest of the child.
The interest of the child.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So our time is up, sincerely. We don't have more time, but
it's a wide topic.
It's a wide topic that you might need to invite you again to come talk about it. So what will be your message to Nigerians concerning
together? That is why the law provides for divorce. Otherwise, left for the law, there's room for arbitration, there's room for settlement, there's room. They have even gone as far as creating family courts to ensure that these things can be settled. There are arbitration grounds without a scattering. So the law will always give you room to settle in matrimonial matters until when you both cannot settle. So we advise that parties should try to understand themselves before they go into marriage. Look at and then try and accommodate the differences, each other, and avoid unnecessary violence.
All right. Yeah. Thank you very much for coming on the show this morning. And I've learned so much from this conversation. Trust me. It's a wide topic, and we'll definitely want to have you again to keep talking to us about things we need to know about family law. It's a pleasure having you. Yeah. We want to take a musical break. You see this kind of conversation, you digest it with a song. I mean, it's the weekend. We need to vibe. We'll come back shortly. Please go nowhere.
Good evening. Glad to have you join us.
Thanks for joining us on Weekly News Wrap.
Thank you very much for having me.
And it is on that note we welcome you to today's edition of the program.
I will celebrate creativity, lasting impressions.
There's no book stating that this is the role for men.
On the news.
On the news at 7.
The latest station, NTA Channel 5, Abuja,
would say have a lovely day.
This is still Good Morning Abuja on NTA Channel 5, the Unity Station. It is Friday, it's the weekend episode, and we have so much more for you. So many things to make your day beautiful, to make your morning beautiful, and to extend your day as well. It is time for a popular comedy skit called Compound Matter. The things that happens in the compound, all right?
Since I love you, and you know that what man like me, I'm going to do where woman dey shoot.
Lalo, there with somebody inside. Wait.
No.
Lalo, there with somebody inside. Who be this person? But I know they hear the voice of the lady. No, they come. Which will be this person? I don't
do anything.
And nobody did this cup handle. I just greet that lady when she dey go shop just now. So landlord get might bring another woman come this house, abi? What I would do? I need to go call that lady. I know her shop now. Why? I'll go call that lady. You will see.
Anything.
You know nothing. Hey, my sister. I thought she was waiting. Wow. That's enough. You just.
I say you say you go back.
Say this JJ, babe, rascal. I feel you see.
Nothing.
Wait till you come with my husband inside house.
Nothing they happen.
Nothing for where you this man.
Wait, nah.
You don't deny my husband, sis.
No. Now Betty code she can't give me. Betty code.
That bring come. Nothing they happen. Officer.
Now code oh, Betty code oh.
Officer, beg.
Wow.
Look me like that. Why you look me like that? You can't do anything.
Now betting code.
I don't do anything. Now code I can't give Oga.
Now betting code.
Now they inside there.
Now code she can't give nothing.
I can't give am. See officer, excuse me. Sorry, ma, please excuse me. What is happening in this compound again? Now betting code. What is happening? I don't tire. Okay, now because of me, you can't let us for this place. Officer, what is happening in this compound?
Officer, I will explain. She came to my house to give me code.
Which code?
Betting code.
Simple.
There's one
landlord. You're a liar. Shut up your mouth. Landlord, I hear something. I pinch my ear. I said quiet.
Anything you hear na code.
Who is constituting a nuisance in this compound? Nobody. See her here. Wait, I don't understand. You want to arrest my sister?
Well, lady, no,
I will change her because of your sister. You want to arrest my sister? I will change her for you. That's what you did. I don't understand. Now you get landlord. So you be that landlord. Last time you be there for my husband.
It is time for us to see suggested movie for you. Every weekend here, we suggest movie for you because you know you have more time to relax and vibe. This is time for our movie trailers. Let's go and see the suggested movie for your weekend.
When hope dies, danger becomes a perfect companion. In the hollow silence of desperation, he reaches for a hand extended from the dark, forgetting that some shakes are never meant to be received.
They know what you are.
They've taken Charlotte.
We're gonna fix it. Brought some backup.
Curtis.
You've all heard about this war brewing between Mahoney and Mrs. Vine.
Two biggest gangsters in London fighting for the #1 spot.
Only needs a spark and it'll be fireworks.
So if we take down Vine's jewelry store, make it look like it was Mahoney.
They'll be busy fighting a war. Not looking for us.
Set in a futuristic Nigeria.
You want to see the real Lagos?
Yes, let's go!
Welcome to Lagos, Nigeria.
Tolab, your daddy has done well for himself. This is how to fish in large rivers.
Otin,
Where's my daughter?
she's your responsibility. Find her.
Be careful, oh. Some of these people are actually dangerous.
I laugh in the face of danger.
I didn't hear you laugh, oh.
Tola, I got you now.
Go!
It is time for the weather forecast. Of course, we don't know where the harmattan went to. We know we saw it and it left. So we wanted to come back. But the weather forecast is there for us to see and know what the weather is saying. Thank you very much for being part of the show. I'm about to say bye-bye. My name is Uloma Ivy. I'll catch you some other time. Good morning and have a blessed weekend.
لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله.
May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon each and every one of us. It's another fantastic Friday evening, and you're welcome to NTA Channel 5 Abuja.
First of all, you train yourself, you educate yourself, then you educate your family, and then the community at large.
Fundamentals of Islam Live, showing 7:30 p.m. every Friday on NTA Channel 5 Abuja, the Unity Station. Join us.
اللهم اجعلنا من عتقاء شهر رمضان.
The glorious month of Ramadan is here once again, and your darling program Sahur Live on NTA is back bigger and better. Our team of erudite scholars are ready to provide insightful analysis into the religion, the Nasiha, Din and Dunya, Women Angle, Living with the Glorious Quran, and the ever-exciting quiz segment are reloaded for your viewing delight. Come and maximize your reward in this blessed month by partnering with us on this year's episode of the program. For sponsorship, advert placement, and inquiries, contact the General Manager, NTA Channel 5 Abuja, Old Parade Crown, Eretengoki Abuja. You can also contact us on the following telephone numbers: 080-3450-5155, 080-3380-6162, 080-3568-8394. Sahur Live on NTA, your indispensable companion in Ramadan. Don't miss it.
La ilaha illallah.